6.8. Not too bad. Housing sales, I guess, or housing somethings. They're just looking around. They're trying to figure out June building permits. That's what it's 1.68 versus 1.65. So 35,000 more, which is pretty cool. Every time someone tries to tell me about how housing is not going anywhere, forget about it, You see, June housing starts about 1.6, let's see, 1.559 and 5.8. So about, what is that, 21,000 off there. It's perfect. I mean, they're growing. What's 21,000 out of a million? I mean, it's not even, what's that, under 2%? It's not even. So it's like 1.25, 1.125, So they take this stuff awful serious. They get crazy when, in fact, none of this math seems to. I'm calling it now math gone wild. That's pretty much what it is. It's like the college students down in New Orleans. They get beads or something like that. They flip their shirts up and show their chest, and it's like girls gone wild. Well, it's math gone wild. That's where we're at this point in time in our history of society. Math gone wild. If the math says it, it must be real. That's basically the way everybody takes it. Instead of saying, oh, okay, it's like having a hammer. You know what they say about a hammer? Everything looks like a nail. That's what a hammer hits into a board or something like that. Everything looks like a nail when you're talking to a hammer. And it's the same thing with math. Everything looks like it's accurate and symmetrical and so forth and so on, because it's all just put together like that. All right, let's get rolling along. As you can see, there is that's natural gas. I have the dollar index up on Chicago Quant. You can see that right there. So it's a third day down with red dots. It's been in the sell for 3 days, but that weekly is barely budging. So it's just like I guess a breathing, just a relaxation. Let's jump over to it on J4X. And we will also, I did not tune in. Let's go into Dukascopy, make sure everybody is there and I can hear myself. It's not abnormal for me to talk to myself, so it's okay. I can kind of relate to that. Dollar index. There it is, dollar index. As you see it on J4X, the second day of the red. You see the green line has been underneath for, 7 days, 8 days now, 9 days. So the red has joined in. It's joined in. It's doing its job. And at the same time, there we go. We got, yep, I see me there. And I see Robin saying hello. I see Jordan saying hello. Metho2000 saying hello. Franzel saying hello. It's cool. Everybody's saying hi. Howdy. So we're all good here. Yep. Remember, to hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so when they try, the housing market in the United States is starved for inventory. And for them to try to, prices have gone up. And, I have a friend selling her house. She paid like $250 or $240 or something like that. I think it was $240 7 years ago. And the realtor said to offer it out at $365. So that's almost a 50% increase. So that's pretty wild. Hey, Robin, I was down checking the plants, working on the zucchinis and working on the tomatoes and working on the peppers and the bok choy and so forth and so on down there, and the eggplants themselves. And so I came up here about 10 minutes before the show started, and I just slowly turning everything on. It looked like watching all the news at the same time. Doing my physics this morning. It was very entertaining. They took care of what fell apart last year, which is really good. The top mathematician in the world, Mr. Witten, or Dr. Witten, straightened out his act, resolved it perfectly for him going crazy last year, and same thing with the young physicist also from the Institute, Aman. He also cleaned up his act, and now they're back on the program again. They are all drinking the Kool-Aid, and life is good. All right, So there's the dollar. The dollar is backing off a little bit in there. Let's see what's going on between the other currencies. Let's see what the pairs trades look like themselves. Let's start off with the euro. There's the euro. You can see that. The euro is marching up nice. 3 days in a buy, 3 greens in a row. The weekly's still having its issues. It's having a problem there getting going. Let's take a look at it over on J4X. And that is in the Eurozone right there. You can see there's a third day of the green. The green line has been through, it's been perking and telling us that its momentum was dying down. It was trying to turn up, and it finally did. So all is good in the hood. All right, from there, let's take a look at Swiss. I find Swiss always to be fascinating. Saw a great article about where they moved their gold. I thought that was very entertaining. You can see 3 days of red. It's underneath since here, basically. So the momentum has died down and it's starting to curve. Let's see what it looks like over in Chicago Quant. There it is right there. Banging down, 3 days in a sell. I know I put that line in there 2 days ago. I know I put that line in there yesterday. Let's do a save. Save workspace. Save workspace as. Save, yes. Stay in there, will you? And you can see the weekly, which was trying to pop up, has failed. So yesterday it started off the week trying to get into the buy, and now it's back underneath it again. I guess that sell is really dominating, really pushing down nicely. And you can see the same thing over on J4X too. And then, let's jump over to the cable, or the Great British Pound, GBP, right there. At 2 days in a green, you can see it's been turning up. Same thing, the momentum has shifted gears. It's trying to change its direction. And let's slide over to it right there. And it's a second day in the buy, right there. Let's put that line in there. I know I put that in there yesterday too. Thing likes to drive me crazy. You drive me crazy. Stay. Save workspace. Save workspace as. There we go. And the weekly is doing its best to lift. You got the echo, or the blue dash line on the weekly, showing some strength, trying to pierce through the time manifold. But the green is still having its issues. It's below it. The white is above it, so that's kind of a positive thing. It's trying to lift up. We'll see how long this lasts, or they roll us over again. Now, I'm trying to think what's going on between here and, was it July 26th, I think it is, when they raised the rates again. So we're at 19, right? Yeah, so we're at 19. Today's the 19th. So we're 7 days away from next week. I guess it'll be like Tuesday or Wednesday. I guess Wednesday maybe. What's the 27th? The 27th is maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday, right? 27th is a Wednesday. I bet they do it on the 27th. I don't think it's Monday morning. So I bet it's like the 27th. So we're just 7 trading days, or 5 trading days. Let's see. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday. 8 trading days away from the rate increase. So I guess they're coming in and they're selling dollars, and they're buying the other pairs at the moment. Makes me want to look at, let's see, where we're at. We're cable, right? Normally we go from here, we go over to the Turkish lira. So let's see what the Turkish lira is up to. We'll go to dollar first, because that really is just like a technical analysis tool, really. Woo! Not losing any momentum against the Turkish lira, are they? 17,588 now. Ooh. They're pushing to the 18 again. Wow, whatever they've done wrong now, that's for sure. It started somewhere as, well, I guess what it is the dollar traders never believed of the free put. That's what it comes down to. Whereas the euro traders, who have to actually use the thing, let's show you the euro Turkish lira. where I would say more it's just a trading tool. But when it comes to the Euro Turkish lira, as you can see right there, they've been in a buy. It's in a sell at the moment, trying to climb back into the buy, and it went into the buy here in May, whereas the dollar one has been in the buy. Look, it goes in and out here. It trades normal. You can see as we scrunch it all up. So you can see all the way back to April, and let's just highlight it a little bit better, like so. You can see here. Totally different game. The euro and the Turkish lira are a legitimate tool that's always being used. The dollar Turkish lira is more of like an index, It's something else, and they never believed it. They never trusted President / former Prime Minister Erdogan and his economic policies. When he took over as Prime Minister, the Turkish lira was like a 1-to-1 with the dollar. And now it's trading at almost 18 to the dollar. Wow. Talk about inflation. What's that, 150%? Something like that? 200%? 180%, I guess it is. So they never believed it. And when we go back to the dollar Turkish lira, you see that. We've been stuck in a weekly buy. Right there. There's the dollar Turkish lira. So all that noise and excitement that happened from the change of policy here, within a month and a half, the traders that traded it in the dollar said, nah, it's all a bunch of rubbish. And so they treated it like an index, and they just stayed long. It's been in that weekly buy all the way to there. So where are we at now? Since February, here we are in July. So we have 5 solid months now of a buy. It's been 5 months, almost half a year. It just refuses to go into the sell. Whereas when you look at it, again, in the Euro Turkish lira pairs trade right there, it's trading like a real product. It goes into a buy, it slides into a sell, goes back into a buy, and then a sell, and then a sell here, and then quickly into a buy after a couple of weeks. And the dailies keep you really honest, and it makes money, and so forth and so on. And then last week they threw it into the sell. And look at that. It's like, nope. It was in a buy when they threw it into the sell in the daily buy. It tried to get into a sell, but I think we went red-green. Or maybe that's what it is. We went to a sell for 2 days. Let's put that red line in there. So it went into a sell for 2 days. Right there. And then jumped right back into the buy to catch this ride. There it is right there. And then when you really amplify it so you can see it really well, you see they threw it into the sell there, and it went into the buy right there. It took a couple days to figure itself out, and now it's off to the race course, trying to go up in here. So things are getting a little ugly. Ugly. Oh, there we go. Frenzel says, I'm German. Well, that's a wonderful thing. Turkish friends of mine are really generous. They buy real gold in Turkey using euros from Germany. Best deal you can make. I bet. I understand that. Was it somebody? We have somebody that watches the webinar from Turkey, and they jump in once in a while, and they said basically the same thing you're saying, and they said that what put pressure on the the lira, the Turkish lira. They said about a month ago. They said that what was doing it was that President Erdogan was finding a way to stop people from hoarding dollars. He said that's what that was all about. And so you got to figure that, and I think he's done the same thing to gold, right? He's made it very hard to buy gold too. But with the inflation, people need to turn their money into usable products. So I bet, you can probably, they're probably buying lira. I mean they're buying euros. That makes total sense. And they're probably staying away from the dollar to a great extent. But thank you for that. That confirms what we've been hearing. I like that, Frenzel. Thank you. It's always good to have. That's why we call this the cyber trading pit. It's like we're just traders. All of us are traders in here. We're just passing along ideas. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. But you know what? It's better to hear all the ideas. And as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather hear all the ideas, good or bad. And then we can all figure out maybe what does it means. You never know what a bad idea might turn into a good idea. You just don't know. I mean, the market is a very nebulous place, a very challenging place. It has some great minds. It has some simple minds. It has everything. You know, it's a real microcosm of life. Metho says 3 times daily leverage silver ETA paid with euro. Smart. I imagine that's smart because the dollar silver is that's a mess, isn't it? Let's go over to take a look at that. I saw silver trying to perk up yesterday. There it is. Oh yeah, today it is. That's right. It's throwing a warning that it's trying to get into a long after I don't know. Since back to May 22nd. It's been in a sell. You know, it's trying. It almost got here and did it, but we got that red and green out of it. Every so often, the red seems to disappear with the data. I'm not sure what that's all about, but the red and green are there. But our weekly is still weak. You know what? I wonder if Dukascopy has a trade, a contract where we can see, silver traded in euros. Boy, I'd love to see a chart on that. Wouldn't that be a cool thing? Oh, I think it will. I think it will. You know, I think the election's going to help it out. I do. I really think that the election is going to straighten this lot of this mess out. It's been a real mess. I don't think you can define it any other way but a mess. This quantitative easing has really hurt price discovery. You know, Janos has documented that, which is really cool. He documented it with some videos. He made some very interesting videos, and they are very factual. And I know Janos got frustrated with them because it got worse. Janos showed the truth. That's what it really comes down to. Janos was showing the truth. I saw a quote by Immanuel Kant. Let me see if I can show you this. Immanuel Kant was, a philosopher, like, I guess you could say about 3 centuries ago. Here we go. I got it. Let's put it up on the screen. There it is right there. If the truth shall kill them, let them die. I thought that was a very interesting quote by Immanuel Kant. In other words, sometimes, hiding the truth is not a good thing. In this case here, the inflation and all the fake stuff out there, and they're trying to put commissions together to do this, that, and the other thing, and in the end result, it's very, very, very sad that the truth gets, put to the side. But I think, Metho, you're definitely right. Silver is showing the truth. Janos was showing the truth about fundamentals. Quantitative easing is definitely a hindrance. It was a wonderful idea. I had no problem with it for 2 years. But we did not want it for the rest of our lives. Okay? Because all it's doing is the world is in enormous debt now. So, it's just basically crazy stuff, Crazy, crazy stuff. All right. From there, where were we? We were looking at the Turkish liras. So from there we go over to Canadian. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I really think that the metals market is got to get life in it again. It will happen. It'll definitely happen. No doubt in my mind. Okay, let's drift over to the Canadian. I think that's where we go, really. Not there. There is it. We go from the Canadian from all that. Now, the Canadian is trying to push down, so we would assume gold is going up. And we saw silver up. So let's go back to gold real quick. No, wait a minute. It's oil. That's what it is. Oil Not, not, yeah, there it is again. When the Canadian is gaining against the dollar, usually oil is going up in value. Let's see if we can find it there. Let's go back to that and see what oil is doing this morning. There's the front month. That's set. It's down a little bit. There's a little pressure on it. It had hit the century mark there today. Got up to par 24. Now it's backing off. It's trading in the 97. So it's almost $3 off from the highs today already. It's towards the lows. I'm not sure why they're holding it up, but that's what they do. So that is it. Now, from there, we move over to, I'm going to throw gold in there like that. Gold is pretty much flat today at 1707. And then we're going to go back and look at the South African Rand. South African Rand right there. And let's put it up on J4X. South African Rand right there. Trying to roll over a little bit. That's usually a sign. Just that red starts to warn us that gold might start to lift too. Now silver's trying to lift. And that's usually where money runs first. They run to silver because it's so undervalued, I guess, at the moment. And then they figure, okay, from there they'll try to pick it up. So I mean that's pretty much the way it's playing itself out. Money is trying to run back to the metals complex. Then from there, what do we do? From the South African Rand, and then we look at gold. We just did. We saw it. It's basically sidelined. And they tried to lift it yesterday. It failed. Let me just double check that real quick with the chart. I just want to take a look at the gold again on the exchange chart itself. And that's Augie Doggy right there. Yeah. Actually, that's wrong. Let's see if we can fix that. What's up with that? It's still wrong. Because yesterday, what did they have as a settlement yesterday? The settlement yesterday is 1710. What's this showing us? 1707. So the settlement was 1710. And then what was the high yesterday? The high yesterday was 1722. And what's this high here? 1719. So it's off. I have to fix those. And that is where we're at. Okay, so now from there, let's see, where do we go from there? So basically the gold complex and metals complex in general is trying to lift up. It's trying. And we'll clean that up. This thing could be very interesting. We'll get that cleaned up data-wise, make it match the exchange. And once it matches the exchange, then we'll see where it stands. I think I might do that as we speak. Because now I'm curious. Because that might be a whole different complexion. And that's, people are listening to this to make money, not to just listen to me ramble. Oop, that didn't work. There we are. File new. Quote manager. So I'm going to find out why the quote manager is reflecting that. And I thought we had that cleaned up too. There it is right there. And put that back up there like so. So now let me just take a look at that. Unload. And what do we got there? So we got the South African Rand trying to drop a little bit. Now let me just put that in there. So what is that? That is the 18th. Let me just double check the gold here. Like so. That is 15th, 18th, and 19th. Okay, good. So the 15th, did the 15th do what it was supposed to do also? Okay. So the 15th is a little wacko also. Let's fix that. Okay. And then we're going to take another snapshot, or take a look at the gold and see what it's doing. See if it's trying to lift up like the way the 03, okay. The way silver is lifting up this morning. There we are. And then that one is doing that, so that's there. Okay, wow, that's a big off. So we go like that. And then let's make sure that's fine. Let's fix that. Okay, and then this one is fixed. Alright, and then let's fix that one. Let's see how it looks now. It's matching up to the exchange numbers are in there for the high and the low and the close. So let's take a look at that. Alright, there we go. It's trying. We got a red-green starting to form here. What's it showing on J4X? Let's go over to J4X and see what it's forming. See if we got a green starting to develop. Right there. Not yet. Okay. Yeah, you can see it's trying to lift up a little bit in here. It one is and one isn't. It's trapped inside the manifolds itself. And that's what we're seeing there. So if this thing can get going again today, back up to the highs, we might see some more strength in it. And yes, metho, definitely. That's what we all look for, is these metals. The metals in some way are basically the truth. That's what it really comes down to. All right, now let's jump over to, let's see, where'd we go? Let's do the last current. Oh, we got the yen. Let's do what the yen is doing. There's the yen. Yen is making a break down there. Cool. Still in the weekly buy there. Let's see how it looks over on J4X. There it is right there, dollar yen. Little red developing there. For us on Chicago Quant, there's nothing. Just the line has broken and it's gone down, so that's fine. It's underneath the sell already. Joining in with the J4X there. See that? The two of them are doing what they're supposed to do. Match up. Then let's go over to the, let's see, we did the yen. Let's go do, we did Canadian, then the yen. Oh, I know what we do. We do the Mexican peso. Right there. The southern border. So 3 days in the sell, it's pressing down. The weekly is starting to pierce. So they almost got to the top end of the range and stalled. It stopped at 0.76. Interesting. Let's see, where is it at? Peso. There we are. You can see that right there. The 3 down. Wow. There we go. So that's pretty much all the currencies we look at. Now that doesn't mean we can't look at others, but you know that's the currencies we look at, and then anybody's welcome to say I want to see X, Y, or Z, and we'll just put it up there. There's no problem at all. And so at this point in time, see, yesterday let me interrupt myself. Yesterday we labeled the webinar as intraday for the 3 currencies that we looked at. I thought that was cool. Let's see, what do we got going on here? So that's the end of the currencies. And let's slide over to... Yeah, you have to wait, but you know what? It'll be worth it. You know that the metals complex is going to bounce back. It's just, there's no way. Look, quantitative easing has to be coming towards the end of its adventure. I mean, they're borrowing enormous amounts of money across the planet. It just can't keep on going this way. And the end result, that will have to get cleaned up. All right, from there we go to, let's do this. Let's go take a look at the metals complex. So there's gold. It's trying to lift up. We got a little more work to do. Maybe next week it gets into a weekly buy unless they take off all the way and take out these highs like right here to get the weekly going. And then when we look at the silver again, you can see the silver is trying. It is trying. There's no doubt about that. We just compare it to the... I remember fixing the silver this morning too. You know, looking at it and going, wait a minute, that's not matching up to the exchange price. Yeah. It's doing it. And it's trying. So this is good stuff. I mean, it's starting to lift up. But again, look at that weekly. That weekly has got a lot of work to do. So maybe next week, you know, if you get another new low or lows around here over the next couple of days, probably another good, you know, Frenzel says, DocDow could we show the Dow? Sure, let's take a look at the Dow. There's the Dow right there. You know, it's trying to climb. It's actually, look at it's doing it. It's flirting as we speak with the daily sell, not the weekly, but the daily sell. And because of that, let's just take a quick look at, say, the S&P 500. It's doing the same thing. It's flirting with the daily sell. But there's the, and it's, look how choppy and sloppy it's been. You know, it really has been choppy and sloppy. I mean, this is, I really think we're going to be staying in this range in here. Let's tighten that up a little bit more. I really do. I think that this uncertainty, you know, for the election, I think this is the your classic sell in May and go away. And it's just going to go sideways. Normally that has some effect, especially at the technical side. We always find that the sloppiness really occurs. Oh, let's see what the DAX did too. DAX rallied. Let's check that out. Where do we have the DAX? I think we have it. Is it on this too? I think it's on this. That's the yen. That's the 2000. Let's do this. There we go. Here's the DAX. Yeah, I really think that the markets are just going to be sideways. Then all of a sudden they're going to start to get legs. They're going to start to move. They're going to take, the markets are going to do something because they're going to, you know, everything that they've been speculating on is going to start to come to fruition. They're going to come real. And that's usually how it works, is that once it starts to go real, money starts to rush towards it. Where's it at? Right. Where's the DAX at? There it is. So you can see it's popped up from yesterday's, going after this high here, in a daily buy from here, and its weekly is trying to turn as we speak, but it's still a week away also. Went into the sell here. Let's put that in there. There it is. There's a sell. So we need some work. You know, it went into the sell in the 25s. Now, I think that this is the ETF that trades in the United States. I think the DAX is what in the let's put it up on J4X. There it is. Yeah, it's in the 13,000s. You can see two greens right there. It's showing some strength. Green line piercing up for the last couple of days. You know, it's showing some life in there. So that's a positive. Again, I'm still part of the camp that believes everything's going to go sideways for another month and a half. You know, I think it's going to go sideways until somewhere's in the middle of September, something like that. Maybe the first week of October. And then I think that they'll start to make some real serious moves. Could be wrong. We'll follow the math. In the end result, the math will lead us out of this. And we're at that point now where the math is the most sloppiest of the year. Going into the third week of July all the way to basically the third week of August is normally a very sloppy period for the technical analysis. And it doesn't seem too bad this year. I think that's because money is so confused and going in no direction that, in other words, they're just scared that I think they have to just keep on dollar cost averaging and, doing all the money management things they need to do. I think that's how that all works out. They have to do it. If they don't do it, they'll get in more trouble. So they probably have like collars on. In other words, they're probably selling calls, buying puts with the money that they sold the calls with, putting on free hedges, and at the same time, they're probably dollar cost averaging into the positions still. It's like a combination of all of it. Yeah, I mean, look, the NQs? Let's go over there and take a look at some of these. We'll deviate from the metals for a second here. So, there it is right there. So there's the NQs, and you can see how far down they are from all-time highs. They were up in the 17s almost, and they've traded as low as the 11s, right? 11 and change. And they're down 30-some-odd% for the year. Now, S&P 500, same situation. They were down 20-some-odd%. Same situation where they were higher. They were way up in November of last year, trading in the, or is it like up in the 4,700 area, and now they're trading in the 3,700 area. Yeah, 3,870. So, and the low is 36.39. So at one point they were like almost 23% down. I think they're like around 20 or 19% down now. And then the Dow Jones not that one, that's gold again. Dow Jones Industrial Average, right there, is down about 17 or 16%. So the Dow is holding up obviously the best because it's only 30 stocks to begin with, and they're the bluest of the blue, and they pay dividends and things like that. And no reason to really liquidate them. You just put a collar on, in other words, sell the call, buy the put, do it for free. You're guaranteed that you're not going to lose much at that point, if at all. And you can dollar cost average and expand the collars, and you're dollar cost averaging in, and it's just a mathematical game that's removes the zero sum factor basically. All right, let's go back to the metals, and let's look at copper. You can see copper's trying to lift up too, get into the buy. And it got down as low as 316. Wow, what a push that's been since we went into the weekly sell-up in the fours. 402, 406, something like that. There's 414. That week it went into the sell. So now let's see, what else have we got going on here? So that's the copper. I guess the big one that may give us the tip-off will be platinum. If they start flirting with the weekly buy again. We've seen it before. It gets into a weekly buy. Usually they lift the metals complex after that. So today's only Tuesday. Usually we go Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays looking at it. So tomorrow we'll tune into the platinum unless someone wants to see it now. And that's usually like the next... That's a real good canary in the coal mine. It's obviously way, as far as I'm concerned, way undervalued, trading in the $800 area with the what do you call it, the the gold trading in the 1,700 area, $1,000 premium in gold. Definitely a freak out to me. All right, from there we slide over to the energy sector, and there is the crude. You see it's down towards the lows of the day, played with the century mark and has failed. And let's just take a look at, let's see if the contract is still trading. I think the September contract, the August contract goes out tomorrow maybe. Let's just double check it. Crude. Yeah, they're still trading it. It's trading at 101. So it's just over the century mark when it comes to the actual cash oil itself. That's October. Let's try that again. August. Augie doggy. Right there. Yeah, it's just playing around with the century mark. So, Frenzel, I hope we answered your question there on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And then from there we go over. Oh, let's take a look at Brent too over on J4X. Right there. Lifting up also. Oh, what's this? I'm really grateful to you on the streams you talk. The streams you talk a lot about things that come from experience, knowing that you can't get it just like that. Awesome. Well, I'm glad. Like I said, we try to treat this webinar like as if we're a trading pit and we're just a bunch of people just standing around in the crowd, talking about different ideas. Sometimes you can hear some of the most brilliant ideas. Sometimes you can hear some of the most crazy ideas. But if you don't hear one, you won't know the difference with the other. So we're ready to talk about anything in here and take a peek at it. I always say that there are no stupid questions when it comes to money and trading. All there is short answers or long answers. That's it. That's how I look at it. All right. From there, we go over and we look at. Let's see. What else oh, that's right. So from there we go to Nat Gas, and there's Nat Gas. It was lifting up for the last couple of days. Went into the buy here, tried to fight itself a little bit, and then it's lifted up more. It was heading for the 8s yesterday. Got up to 755. Today's high is 754. But the weekly, you can see here, is just not picking up. It's still keeping minus very cleanly. Let's check out the same thing on. There's Nat Gas in America, which is trading at 7.2 on a per cubic foot. And then we go and we look at it in European delivery. And there it is right there. Ouch. 28.63. It's the highest we've seen in a couple weeks now. It's really pushing. We saw it drift underneath the 27s, just some mid-26s. Now we're back up to the 28s. I understand, Franzel, I heard that, what did I hear? The government suggested that if you can chop wood and burn wood, get prepared to do so. I heard that. They're recommending that people start chopping wood in Germany. That's a far out, isn't it? Have you heard anything about that? Waiting for Franzel to say something. I thought that was pretty wild. I agree with the philosophy, so I'm right there with them. All right, so that's the Nat Gas. We've kind of resolved it all. What else is there? Okay, so we've seen the natural gas, we've seen the European natural gas, we've seen Brent, and we've seen U.S. oil. Oh, you're laughing. Was it true? I heard that. Yeah, I know. I heard whales and everywhere. Yeah, we've been getting hit by some sunspots the last 4 days, so it's heating things up. Yeah, we got hit by 2 different CMEs. One last night. It happened 3 days ago. It happened on Friday of last week, and it takes a while for it to get here. It's 99 million miles away. We get the light of it, in 8.5 minutes. Because of the speed of light, but it didn't hit us. It started hitting us until the weekend. And it's going to keep on hitting us until like Wednesday. So yeah, the sun controls our weather. So it does that stuff. It's stuff. Yeah, they were saying that for the winter. Did you see that, or was that something someone just published over here and was faking it? Let's see now. Where do we go from here? Oh, I know. What we do is we go over to the stock indices, really. We've already kind of taken a look at them, but we'll take another quick peek. Let's do the intraday. So there's the S&P 500 right there. That's how it's been doing today. It started off, this is the, where's it at? That's pretty much the European Open right there. They've been lifting it since they started the European Open. Look at that. It's been more buying than anything else. Lots of green. Tries to get into a sell. I'm not even sure if it makes it. Is it a green? There's a green there. So it does get into a sell there. Goes right back into a buy. Goes into a sell again. You can basically buy it lower if you have a good stop. And then it gets into a buy again, and you make all your money. It's lots of chicken dinners. Winner, winners, chicken dinners. Then a little correction again. Another correction there, which is almost nothing. Nice buy there again. There you go. You finally get your first good correction going on. And then it gets into the sell here and doesn't go into a buy until right there. Right there. And just goes nowhere and goes back into a sell again on that. Right there. And that was a winner, winner, chicken dinner. And then it goes into a buy again right there. That's a winner, winner, chicken dinner. And the sell is a small win. And the buy is a decent win. So that's the intraday of the S&P. Metho, what were you saying, Metho, that they blocked you? Bummer. Let's see. Winter, our government says we need to conserve electricity. We'd best do it without our televisions. Oh, really? Cut down information, huh? At the same time, plans are in place to ban cars with internal combustion engines. Only want to allow electric. Yeah, this is the way they can turn the electric off and you can't travel. That's what drives them crazy, probably. And everybody is flying for holidays to Spain. Yeah, exactly. Crazy stuff, I know. These politicians are... Federal governments are really bad, you know? Really, really bad. All they want to do is control you so that you can't do anything but vote for them. How crazy is it? Vote for us. We promise you this, that, and the other thing. That's the promise they make. We'll promise you this, that, and the other thing. And buy an electric car, and it will save Pluto. It will save Uranus. It's going to save Neptune. Pluto has lost 30% of its atmosphere in the last 5 years from SUVs in the United States and the rest of the world, probably. And then Neptune has gone into an ice age over the last 3 years. And I guess it's the SUVs again doing it. And then the winds on Jupiter and Saturn have freaked out over the last 2 years. And that must be the SUVs. And then Mars. Mars is, notice it's coming closer to us, whatever's coming towards us. It's coming closer to us. Notice that? And then Mars is having earthquakes. No more than a year ago, NASA and everybody said Mars would never have earthquakes in our history. We'll never know earthquakes on Mars. They're having 4.5s and 4.2s out of nowhere. So whatever's happening is getting closer, and we have lost 20-some-odd% of our magnetic field. And at the same time, this is what the SUVs are doing. The SUVs are doing this to the whole solar system, gas-fired engines. And the worst thing of all about gas-fired engines, they have moved our North and South Pole on us. That's right. So the North Pole now is in Siberia, about 1,100 miles away from where it used to be, no more than like 4 or 5 years ago. And at the same time, the South Pole, which used to be on Antarctica, is now heading into the Indian Ocean, heading towards Australia. So look what these SUVs are doing. That is vicious, huh? It has the power to mess with the whole solar system. I like to remind people that. No, it's all happened. It all happened. All these things have happened. Pluto, Neptune, a whole bit. That's all happened. No, it's not sarcasm. It's the SUVs, they say. That's what they're saying. It's got nothing to do with the sun or our solar system or our galaxy. It's obviously, they're saying it's the SUVs that do it. I didn't know Detroit had that much power. You would think that if an SUV could do that, you would think that we could drive to Pluto. At least that's the way I see it. At least use the SUVs to go to Mars. It's closer by. Something of that nature. Yeah, exactly. It's the only way I can only understand the math of it all. And to top it off, EVs won't be EVs; they will be hydrogen powered, exhaust into water. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that was a big popular thing for a while. I tried putting a that to an engine. It was kind of neat. And one of my professors of old had turned the university into a fuel cell. Has a fuel cell powering it now. Yeah, so hydrogen fuel cells burn water, not fossil fuels, and save the solar system. Yep, that's how it works. That's what they're telling us. I myself don't agree with it, but that's what they say. Okay, where else do we go from here? I guess that is the intraday of the S&P. So let's take a look at the intraday of the... let's add more time to it. The Tech 100. And it's loading up now. And let's take a look at the intraday of the... there's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. There it is there. So it started off just like the rest of them, starting off up. And then there was a little sell there. Didn't last long. Got back into a buy somewhere around in here. And that was very weak. Right there. Where's the green dots? Scale. Screen like that. There you go. That's better. So, and I guess we could move this up like that, and then move this up like that. You can see that it goes into the buy here. Goes up a little bit. Nice little correction there. Goes into the sell right there. Or is it there? I think that's the sell. Yeah, that was the sell right there. We caught that whole ride down, and now we're back into a buy here, and it's climbing up. Yeah, fuel cells. Yeah, it's a good technology. It works fine. It's so hard to say, what, to me, low cost and efficiency is the best. Whatever low cost and efficiency is, that's the best. Now, obviously, the cleaner, the better. That's for sure. In Germany, someone has developed an exhaust system for diesel cars that can clean the exhaust gases so that clean air comes out at the back and then in from the front. Government doesn't care. Yeah, unfortunately so. Hey! Is that Pranoba? Hello, sir. How are you? Could you please minimize the upper screen? Back screen is not seen well. Oh, what, this one right here? Right there? How's that? And that's the, what is that? That's the Dow Jones, right? And then let's see what the Tech 100's doing. There's the Tech 100. Same thing with that European Open, and it took off. It was in a buy all the way up to here. From there to there. Now it's back into the buy again. A little correcting in here. Nothing magnificent. I think that was an actual buy and then right back into a sell right there, which was meaningless. Just 2 bars and then back into the buy again. So, Would you like to see anything else? We can show you the let's show you the daily chart of that too. There's the NQs. You see there, it's in a buy for a second week, and there is the S&P 500. Same situation. Matter of fact, that little cell now can be removed because it is trying. It's above the zero line again here. And then let's go to the Dow Jones Industrial Average on the daily again, like so. That's still flirting with the sell. It's just underneath by a hair of its chinny chin, right there. But in a weekly buy, so they're still pushing on that. All right, traders, we're out of here. We will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. This is Doc from North America. Oh, we have to come up with a name for this too. What should we talk about? What do we talk about today that we should use as a name? Anybody have any ideas? Let me see. What should we call today's webinar? How about where did we start off with? I guess gold. How about silver? Silver showing strength. That sounds like a good thing, you know, for those that are watching that stuff. And I think that's a good way of looking at it. All right, traders. This is Doc. Catch you all tomorrow. Goodbye, Metho. You have a good night. Or day, or afternoon. To me, it's morning still. Happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be tomorrow. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Yep, Franzel, see you all later. It's the SUVs. Exactly. It's wrecking the whole solar system. All right. Arrivederci and so forth and so on. Ta-ta.